Hi peeps, Narelle here from Narelle's Astro, and today we begin our journey through the planets. Yes, that's right, we're going to look at the mythology, the archetypes and the themes that the planets help us to understand when we look at it from the astrological perspective. We're going to look at the luminaries, that's the moon and the sun. We're going to take a look at the inner planets, that's Mercury and Venus and Mars, and then we're going to have a look at the bridging planets, that's Jupiter. Yes, we're going to have a look at Chiron as well as Saturn, and then lastly we'll continue into the outer planets, so that is Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. So let's get started. You know, to ancient astrologers, the planets were seen as the messengers of the gods and were in direct influence to the affairs of people. But today, in our modern astrology, we probably more look to the planets as being representative of our urges and our drives to our human psyche, and are perhaps more associated with the unconscious instincts that are reflected in our impulses and our thoughts and our emotions and what drives our behaviors. So in this way, the more we understand the planets and where they're positioned in our natal charts, the more we can understand ourselves and why we behave like we do, but more importantly, how we interact with others and how we can improve our relationships. So to do this, we take a look at each of the planets and the themes that it represents, as well as what zodiac sign it's positioned in our natal chart, and house placement. And this helps us to understand why we behave in certain ways, possess certain personality traits that are perhaps different to the next person. The first planet that helps us to do that is the sun. So some fun facts about the sun is that it is accountable for 99.86% of the solar system's mass. That's amazing. That would take over 1 million Earths to actually fill the size of the sun. So it is no wonder that it is the center of our universe. You only have to go back through history to see how the sun's being worshipped. The ancient Greeks called the sun god Helios, who was responsible for carrying the sun across the sky every day in his chariot, bringing warmth and light and life and growth to the earth. In fact, he was personified in the form of this giant statue called Colossus of Rhodes in ancient Rhodes, Greece, and it was one of the ancient wonders of the world. So from this mythology, we can start to understand that the sun in our astrology charts is really representing ourselves, our identity, our personality, and whether we ourselves allow ourselves to really shine. So depending on the strength of the sun in your natal chart, and by strength we mean what zodiac sign is your sun in, and what house placement, and what kind of interactions or geometric patterns does it make to other planets in your chart. And this can really help us understand how confident are you as an individual. The question is, are we hiding in the shadows, or are we truly shining and being everything that we're meant to be and reaching our potential as an individual? The sun is representing our conscious self. It reflects our personal power and operates in the present moment. You see, we're not automatically our suns when we're born, but rather we grow into our suns as we develop. With each conscious choice and action we take to express our creative forces, we enhance our sense of individuality, and thereby we are experiencing our sun. When you think of the sun and its objectives, think about the hero's journey. The hero is born at sunrise and sets out into the world to bring order to chaos. He undergoes trials to prove his strength and worthiness, and at sunset he dies and descends to the underworld, where he proves his right to be reborn at sunrise again. The sun embodies the very essence of our potential as an individual. So with every completed task that we achieve in our life's journey, we creep ever closer to consciousness and our true authentic self. So So if I've inspired you to want to learn more about astrology, then I can recommend Kevin Burk's book called Understanding the Birth Chart. It's a great introductory book to astrology, and it will cover not only the planets, but the zodiac signs and houses, as well as the planets. So you can look at a natal birth chart and understand each of the elements. So great beginner's book. I'll leave a link for that below. But if you're just wanting to understand the sun in each of the zodiac signs, then I'm going to recommend Michael Luton's book called Sunshines. It's so creative. It just conjures up these wonderful images of each of the character traits of each of the zodiac signs. So I'll leave a link for that one below. And lastly, I will also include the link to the Keywords of Astrology. Great little book to really improve your vocabulary for the different elements of the natal chart. And what I'd also love to share with you is my e-learning online astrology classes, and they're very interactive, loads of information for you. So I have one on the zodiac, which of course I've covered in our earlier videos, but I've also got one on the planet, so I will include a link to that below. Just bear in mind that it does take a few minutes to download into your web browser, and you will need Adobe Flash Player to be able to view it, so on a desktop or a laptop. So let me know what you think, give me lots of feedback, and I'll look forward to catching you next time.